Live from WBFF in Baltimore, this is Fox 45 Morning News.
Good morning to you. It's 10:30 on this December 10th, and of course we're tracking that rain for you across our region. Thanks for being with us this Sunday. I'm Taylor Stewart. It's a purple Sunday, and we're talking about purple rain. Let's get to your forecast. Meteorologist Wyatt Everhart, because it's certainly coming down if it hasn't already.
This kind of washout. We just crank the Prince all morning, right? Get the old school going. Yeah, heavy rain is the story. Purple rain. Ravens game day Sunday going to be a wet one there at M&T Bank Stadium, already coming down and set to ramp up as we go into the afternoon hours. A lot of moisture south and west of us headed our way from the Charlottesville area. And so it's wet weather on and off, a little lull toward Hagerstown. I will say that there'll be some lulls in the heaviest rain as we go through the day, but at times it will be ramping back up as well. That's why we do continue to have an aerial flood watch for the central part of Maryland. Just a lot of moisture in the stretch. There is drier air back west of this system. It'll come in tomorrow, but in the meantime, it is a wet weather scenario today. The only silver lining maybe is the temperatures kind of on the mild side, close to 60. More on the extended forecast is coming up.
It was funny when Corey and the other Baltimore leaders said, jokingly, "Who is this little white girl from Tucson coming to Baltimore to tell us black men what to do?" Well, you know what? I know exactly how you felt.
Well, family, friends, and city leaders gathered to honor the life of Pava LaPere, the 26-year-old rising tech star who was murdered in her Mount Vernon apartment nearly 3 months ago. Now, Saturday, there were lots of laughs, memories, tears, and reasons to celebrate her memory.
A celebration of life for Pava LaPere, the tech CEO killed at her Mount Vernon apartment building in September. A political who's who paying tribute to her life and legacy.
There is a lot that I'm thankful to Pava for. From
Governor Wes Moore.
It wasn't just her accomplishments that were so beautiful and so extraordinary. It really was her mindset.
To Mayor Brandon Scott.
Today we are here to celebrate the life of one of the latter, Pava, who was my friend.
Now her name will live on forever, with a dedication from Johns Hopkins, LaPere's alma mater.
And in honor of her, we are renaming Fast Forward U the Pava Marie LaPere Center for Entrepreneurship here at Johns Hopkins University.
The dedication cementing LaPere's legacy, according to her mother.
I want Pava's exit from this universe to be a motivator for everyone. Let's look around and see what might be improved.
LaPere's brother showing his appreciation.
She's given the recognition she deserves, and their accolades will be set in stone. Thank you, Baltimore, and thank you, Johns Hopkins.
While still trying to come to grips with the loss of his sister.
Bravo to you, sister. I'm proud of you. We are proud of you. And though you're not gone, sleep tight.
A loss that possibly could have been prevented if a repeat violent offender was not able to walk the streets of Baltimore. Something the governor calls a miscarriage of justice.
The same system that she wanted to fix, it failed her.
Now, 32-year-old Jason Billingsley, the man accused of murdering LaPere, was arrested just days after police say he killed her. Now, Billingsley has an extensive rap sheet. Back in 2015, he was sentenced to 30 years in prison after pleading guilty to a first-degree sex offense. However, he struck a plea deal, cutting his sentence in half. Ultimately, he was released last October on good behavior. Now, the day LaPere's body was found, police say he stole a gun from a friend in Owings Mill. Then just 2 days before that, police say Billingsley attacked a couple inside of a home on Edmondson Avenue, raping the woman and slitting both of their throats before setting fire to the home. Baltimore police face some intense scrutiny for not alerting the public about that crime and the dangerous person on the loose.
Hindsight's always 20/20. I don't think we made a mistake in this case.
To say that there was no mistake made, I think that's a bridge too far. I think, again, we go back to the fact that this person, obviously from his past history, has shown that he can be a threat.
Billingsley's arrest also reignited calls for stronger laws to keep violent repeat offenders off the streets and behind bars. As many questioned why he was out of prison in the first place, given his rap sheet. That includes Mayor Brandon Scott.
Rapists shouldn't be let out early, period. When you rape someone, no matter if it's someone's daughter, son, their wife, like, you should not get out early, period, for that kind of offense.
However, Billingsley is not the only repeat offender released from prison early due to a lenient plea deal. In June of last year, police say 20-year-old Austin Davidson shot and killed a Wicomico County Sheriff's deputy. Davidson pleaded guilty to armed robbery in Baltimore in 2017. He was free by 2020. That same month, Baltimore police say Joseph Black struck an officer with his car during an arrest. He has a long list of convictions, including attempted murder dating back nearly 20 years. He was on parole at the time of this incident. And then there's convicted arsonist Luther Trent, who told Fox 45 he was stunned by his own plea deal. He spent only 6 years behind bars for setting his ex-girlfriend's house on fire with her and 2 other people inside of it. Now, Trent says his own plea deal sent the wrong message to criminals. The deal was eventually reversed, with federal agents going on to sentence him to 12 years. Now to a city in crisis this week. 4 teens were arrested after police say they used a rideshare app to carjack a driver in West Baltimore. This is just the latest example of a teenager using an app or a website to commit a crime. I spoke with an expert who has a warning about using these kinds of apps safely. Take a listen. Marketplace apps make it easy to buy and sell items or services online, connecting sellers to prospective buyers. But you don't always know who's on the other end.
You are meeting a stranger. Someone lists something online, you don't know them, you go on the platform, and you agree to meet.
That's what happened when Pennsylvania teen Carlos Carazana Ricardo crossed state lines interested in buying a car posted on Facebook Marketplace in West Baltimore. Investigators say he was shot and killed by the vehicle's owner after expressing second thoughts on the purchase.
That truly messed up my head because I've been trying to buy stuff off of Facebook Marketplace for a while.
Police arrested and charged Marquise Harris with murder just days before investigators brought 4 West Baltimore teens into custody, accused of using a rideshare app to lure in a driver in an attempted carjacking.
The country has a bit of a parenting issue. There's no coincidence that it's juveniles.
And as these apps fuel a dangerous trend when it comes to juvenile crime, law enforcement expert Melissa Pinkleton says thoroughly vet your buyer or seller before expressing interest in a deal.
Because it's being done through the app. There's such little human contact over the apps, it is very easy to pretend to be somebody else.
And when meeting them in person for the first time,
I always use we. We will be there to pick you up. Whether I'm going alone or not, you always want to put in we.
It lets the person on the other end know you're not coming alone. School.
Deeply inconsistent with our values.
The largest contract in North American sports history signed just last night. Rocco breaks it all down for us this morning in Sports Unlimited. Stay tuned. Well, a fairly plain, humble little Christmas tree might be capturing America's heart this holiday season. Discount store Five Below. They're selling this 4-foot-tall Christmas tree, and it's all the rage on the internet. Americans may embrace it because of its inflation-busting price. We're talking about $5.55 here. Well, the hidden find captured on the internet with more than 100 million searches this week. A TikTok poster with more than 1 million views says they need a little bit of love. And they're kind of like a Charlie Brown Christmas tree. I probably need that one too. Alrighty, well, you know it now. It's raining. If you haven't been outside, that's your cue right now. Meteorologist Wyatt Everhart will let you know how long it's going to stay. Definitely into the game today, not before that.
Look, we're seeing the rain increasing right now, right? That's going to be the story of the next couple hours. More rain steadily coming in, not less. So, yes, wet weather scenario for all the fans out there rocking M&T Bank Stadium. Look, it'll be unwelcome for those West Coast sunshine-loving Rams, right? So it should play in our favor, I would think, weather-wise on the gridiron today. But you see just how much rain is still already coming in out of the western part of the state, but it has arrived now into Baltimore and certainly into the western suburbs. Some very heavy rain now toward Westminster. And a lot of this rain will be running up the 95 corridor all the way down from Durham, North Carolina, running in our direction. So we'll keep the wet weather around here for the bulk of the afternoon and even into the evening. I will say the heaviness will somewhat vary as you go forward in time here. But basically, looking through the day, those temperatures in the mid-50s now are going to kind of stay there. Maybe we hover close to 60 at times. Then temperatures dropping off. The more heavy rain we get, that'll at least temporarily in a given location drop the temperature. You get rain cooling effect. And by the way, we're talking about some significant rain totals before it's all out of here. Rain totals, 2 inches in spots by the time we get to tomorrow morning. Eastern Shore, some spots could push 3 inches of rain if the modeling's correct. I think on average, 1.5 to 2 inches of rain, but still a very wet scenario here. If there's another silver lining here, it would just be that, look, we've had a very dry pattern through the fall, and we don't want to get into kind of a drought-like situation, so this is certainly quenching that, but nonetheless, keeping it kind of a washout for this Sunday. Maybe a lull late afternoon, but then we get another surge of moisture running up out of the south. Keeps it wet all night long. Some snow showers on the back edge of this thing with a cold front, especially for the western edge of the state out toward like Deep Creek Lake. This whole thing should be clearing out first thing Monday morning for all but Delmarva. So I think we're dry starting tomorrow, other than a few flakes, a few flurries flying around here. We should be relatively dry into the bulk of the week even. But that cool air that's in place now, replaced by drier air tomorrow and colder air. It'll be pretty blustery as that system comes through, clearing and colder for Monday. But a dry trend on tap for the week. If you like sunshine, we do have that for you on tap through the bulk of the week ahead. And squeaking up to 60 today, but then tonight, the cold air arriving. And so we're down in the 30s tonight, only into the 40s tomorrow. Here's that extended forecast. Again, looking at a much brisker scenario on Monday, 40s only, drier, few flurries in the morning, and then dry through the midweek. Plenty of sunshine around. Seasonable temperatures for this time of year, hovering close to 50 several days here in the outlook.
Welcome into your morning sports report. I'm Rocco DeSangro. Army-Navy is one of the greatest rivalries in all of sports, and not just because of the product on the field. America's game means so much more because of what the student athletes will go on to do. The traditions before, during, after, simply unmatched. And the goal in this one is to always be that service academy that sings second. Some phenomenal finishes over the years, no different in the 124th edition of this storied rivalry. Brian Newberry's first as head coach of the Mids. Black Knights get the scoring started in the second. Bryson Daly to Tyson Riley. Army takes a 7-0 lead and would add a field goal before the half. Let's go to the fourth. This is where things got crazy. Navy with the ball, not anymore. Ty Lavatai puts it on the ground. Caleb Fortner scoops it up and returns it 44 yards for the touchdown. 17-3 Black Knights lead. Under 3 minutes to go in the game. Navy on the 14. Still alive in this one. Lavatai to Jaden Umbarger, and the Mids are back in business. 17-9 after the unsuccessful 2-point conversion. Navy would get the ball back after a big defensive stand. Moving down the field. 3rd and goal. Lavatai to Alex Texa. Pulled down just short. The Mids go quick. 4th and goal. Lavatai on the sneak, and he's denied. As Army's defense stands tall, Black Knights take over on downs. And at this point, the game was over. Right here, this play, you're going to see it. But if you had money on the game, this safety may have made your day or ruined it. Army holds off Navy to pick up its second straight win in this rivalry, 17-11, the final from Foxborough.
Obviously, we had no timeouts. Ball won, and we tried to just want to QB sneak. It didn't turn out in our favor, but, we had the play call. We just couldn't get in the end zone. It's unfortunate, but, it comes down to a game of inches, and it sucks that, that's how it ended.
Yeah, I would love to have gotten in right there. Obviously, still had to get 2-point conversion and get it tied up, but I'm really proud of our players. It's a terrible feeling to lose this game. I've been a part of wins, too, and nothing quite like that. And, losing is not acceptable for us and never will be, so don't take what I'm about to say the wrong way, but ultimately there's more important things than that scoreboard out there. I know some people don't like to hear that, but that's the truth, and I love these kids, I love this team. I'm proud of them for a lot of things that they did.
With the conclusion of the Army-Navy game, bowl season is on the way with the first batch of games kicking off next Saturday. Maryland will have a few weeks before facing Auburn December 30th in the Music City Bowl. With the win, the Terps would do something that's never been done in program history. 3 bowl victories in 3 straight seasons.
It's a great opportunity. Auburn is one of those programs that when you think of college football, they're part of that pageantry of college football. It'll be a great opportunity, a great town, being in Nashville. The Trans-Perfect Music City Bowl is a step up for us in terms of elevating our program, and I know we're all excited for this opportunity.
LSU quarterback Jaden Daniels is the 2023 Heisman Trophy winner, joining Billy Cannon and Joe Burrow as the 3rd player in program history to win the coveted award. Daniels earned 503 first-place votes, beating out Washington quarterback Michael Penix Jr., Oregon's Bo Nix, and Ohio State wide receiver Marvin Harrison Jr. Fresh off the bye, the Ravens gear up for the final stretch of the regular season with 5 games remaining on the slate. The Ravens, 9-3 on the year. They sit atop their division and control their own destiny when it comes to that 1 seed in the AFC. The first team standing in their way is the 6-6 Rams. Winners of 3 straight, and on what will likely be a miserable weather day in Baltimore, expect the league's top rushing team to rely on what they do best.
December football, December football, January football, the run game's important. Stopping the run's massive. Stopping the run against this team is critically important. Running the ball against this defense is very important. It's only going to be that way. We're going to be saying that every week all the way through December here, so big part of it.
And I know exactly what I would say.
Check this out. This is going to be a remember where you were moment when this happened. The biggest domino in the MLB offseason has fallen. Shohei Ohtani has made his decision, announcing that he will remain in California and join the Los Angeles Dodgers. And wait until you hear the contract. The biggest in North American sports history. 10 years, $700 million, all fully guaranteed for the MLB superstar. That is a lot of zeros right there. To be able to call yourself the best program in the area, it's something student athletes take pride in. And the winner of the inaugural Charm City Hoops Classic will hold that title for the next 365 days or so. Towson, Morgan State, and UMBC all taking part with bragging rights on the line. Towson and UMBC going head-to-head. Christian May coming off a 27-point game. May would stay hot in this one, knocking down one of his 6 threes here. Let's go to the second now. UMBC looking to cut into the lead. Frank Emu gets the shot to go. Christian May with a game-high 24 as Towson beats UMBC to win that Charm City Hoops Classic, 89-73. In women's action, Coppin State taking on George Washington. Eagles down 3 in the second. Angel Jones, 3-pointer, is going to tie the game at 20. George Washington would pull away in the 4th. You'll see Essence Brown after this made shot here. She's going to put GW up 20 as Coppin State falls in this one 55-41. On the men's side, Coppin State falls to George Washington 76-45, and Morgan State beats Virginia University of Lynchburg. Cameron Hobbs with 14 points and 15 rebounds for the Bears in that 120-50 win, and Loyola falls to 1-9 on the season with a 77-64 loss to Mount St. Mary's. Morgan State women's basketball beat UMBC 65-42. In the Charm City Hoops Classic, the Bears finish with a 1-1 record. Towson wins it with a 2-0 record. That's going to do it for your morning sports report. I'm Rocco DeSangro. Have a great Sunday.
If you're heading out the door, be sure to grab that umbrella. Wow, no rain in Ocean City to speak of. But here in our region, we are certainly tracking rain. Meteorologist Wyatt Everhart has your work week forecast coming up. You're watching Fox 45 Morning News, all local, all morning.
All right, Taylor, check out the radar, huh? Active. But, you know, you look out the window and you kind of get it, right? It's a washout type of Sunday. Look, we're still going to be playing great football on the gridiron, I'm sure. And that extended forecast, you see the trend, is for drier weather this week. A little colder, but a little drier, sunnier.
You know what that 60 tells me about this rain? It's going to be a little bit sticky out there. It's going to be wet and sticky.
Yeah. I think just kind of a mess.
But you know what? Good for us because the Rams maybe aren't used to this kind of weather.
That's my theory. I mean, come on, California sunshine, they're not getting that today.
Right?